My husband and I have been trying for a family for 6 years and went through a whole IVF journey. And that really made me feel disconnected with my body. Katie wanted to host this retreat and my sister was insistent. And I can be very shy sometimes. So she convinced me to go. So I was about to do my very last embryo transfer. And that was it for me. She's like, Berkeley, you need to do this. You need this for you. You need to have this experience and it's gonna be life-changing for you. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Like it's gonna be life-changing for me. Like, okay. She convinced me. I signed up. We showed up at the retreat and it couldn't have come at the more perfect timing. This came literally, I think at least 3 days or so before my actual transfer date for my very last baby, my last chance for my husband and I to be able to have that family. This was it for us. So we weren't gonna continue to try after this. Like, we've lost 3 babies, in the 6 years that we have been trying, and 2 were this past summer. So I really was not feeling myself, feeling sexy, constantly feeling like a failure as a woman for not being able to have a baby, something that I wanted so much to have, and something that my husband was so deserving of, to be a dad. I feel like I had robbed him of that. How I felt before the retreat was just an ultimate low in my life. Going through 6 years of fertility treatment, it's not easy. That puts a lot of strain on somebody's mental health. And I just felt like I was constantly doing something wrong. And then to go through the losses that we had, I just felt like my body kept failing me. And the buildup, when you would sit there and you would take the tests and they would just be negative, it felt like the test was giving you the biggest middle finger ever. It hurts so deeply. I didn't love myself the way that I should have been loving myself. Started to gain all this weight from all the hormones. It was just constantly just feeling like I was just not pretty enough to do a boudoir shoot. I needed to definitely find some more self-love for myself, especially if I was going into that. I needed to be able to do something that would make me feel like it's going to be okay no matter what. When we got to the retreat, I was a bit shy at first. I walked in and then all the girls started arriving and it just changed and felt so natural and so real. The girls were amazing, absolutely beautiful inside and out. And it can be very scary meeting people like for the first time, especially if you're going to be like undressed in front of them. So, and again, this was my first shoot. So like that was like very different for me, but it was very easy to warm up. Even though everyone was very different and had different stories, somebody could be going through something like much worse than you are, and they can still hold space for you. Going through my journey, I definitely felt very belittled, and the girls were able to like open the floor and never gave me those stereotypical answers that you get from literally everyone. Like if I had a nickel kind of thing, they literally just heard your journey, heard your story, and responded in the way that I would have wanted to be responded by other people. And they heard you, and that was amazing. So on our very last day, one thing that Katie had us do was she had given us all in this little goodie bag a mirror, and we all sat in a circle and we had to go around and say something about ourselves, like something that we love about ourselves. And then the girls would go around and they would add off of that. One of those things where like everyone's like, oh, a little nervous to do it at first, but we've all established like relationships so quickly by that point. It was really easy. And what was supposed to be like an hour-long activity turned out being something like, let's just cancel the rest of the day and just do this. It was really, really emotional and very, very personal. Each girl held space for one another. You think people would just give like something kind of simple, but they brought out things that you wouldn't even notice about yourself that they pulled out and said, like, we recognize this in you, or we see this in you. And it wasn't as simple as you have nice boobs, which they all said. It's just like the full from the heart. Each girl gave so much of themselves to you. And it just really showed how much they really heard you throughout the weekend. And again, like provided that support. And then later in the evening, we did this other little exercise that was a rope cutting ceremony. So once the sun had gone away and the stars were out, there was a little campfire in the backyard, and we all had to write letters to ourselves about letting go, something we wanted to let go or say goodbye to, kind of things. Everyone's just like in tears writing these letters for themselves. And my point of my letter was to be like, it's gonna be okay. No matter what happens in the next few days with your transfer, you're gonna be okay. And I gotta be able to sit there and feel like I actually gotta be able to grieve losing my babies. Like, I will always love them. I will always think of them and how important they were to me. And I felt guilt that if I ever forgot, ever pushed them aside, it was like I was just forgetting about them as if they were nothing when they were everything to me, those babies. And we went outside and all of us girls stood around a circle and held hands, and we would take a deep breath. And if you wanted to share what you wrote, you could. But if you didn't want to share what you wrote, then you just sat there, you stepped forward, you took a deep breath, and you threw it in the fire. And that's it. You're letting this go, and you're okay with that. And I can't express to you how healing and special that part was. I know how important that whole experience was for Katie too. That was one of her main things that she really wanted to have from the retreat. And Dave was getting really late with us doing our whole mirror exercise. So we're like, we need to get this in. And it was so well needed. And you just felt the weight that was on your shoulders be able to kind of just release, and then to be surrounded by the girls that are sitting there supporting. It's symbolic of them kind of carrying you through that, because it can be really hard to let go, especially if you haven't fully grieved it. So that was really, really special. I love that experience. The day of my transfer, I'm literally going to the clinic, and my phone suddenly is blowing up with text messages. And it is all the girls from the retreat personally texting me to wish me luck, these paragraphs, not just good luck, you got this, kind of it was these paragraphs, novels of just love that was sent to me. And I just felt that female energy, and I'm just soaked it all in. It made me feel so good. I'm going in to do something it's uncomfortable to do these procedures, and I was scared, but I can't tell you, for the first time I went into a transfer actually feeling like I was able to have a deep breath, and I genuinely was okay, that no matter what happened, it was going to be okay. I felt so healed. And even people at my work, they all said that there was just something different about me in a very positive way. But yeah, so all the girls messaged me, and it just felt so good. It just shows how much I really was heard, and I was really truly supported. That was the most support that I've had in a very long time, especially going through all my transfers and everything. So it put me in a better mindset, and it was really cute and sweet. So I appreciate that so much from the girls. Throughout the weekend, us girls had these little jars. Day one that we got there, Katie wanted us to write on these little heart papers, little notes to each other. It could be anonymous. You can leave your name. It didn't matter, but just something, just only positivity. There was no negativity allowed at the retreat, only positive vibes. You didn't open your jar the entire time that you were there at the retreat. You would take it home, and on bad days, or even good days where you just wanted to read one, you would open up the jar and you would take out a note and you get to read it. So I made it kind of more like a tradition that when I went home, I had my transfer day, and then every single day after my transfer had happened, I would wake up in the morning. That would be the first thing that I would do, is open one of those hearts. And some days I'd treat myself to a second one because it made you feel really good. And it was a long 2-week wait to find out. So it was definitely really hard. As much as I was okay with whatever the outcome was, I still just wanted to know. I was excited as of that point to also really begin my life and feel free from the journey that I just was literally hostage to for 6 years. And so for once, I didn't feel alone. I had girls that would message me even throughout the days from the retreat. While I was waiting, they'd message me to check in to see how I was doing. They just were so kind, and that made me feel better. But those hearts were literally the only thing that got me out of bed in the morning during that 2-week wait. I would make it a religious routine that at nighttime be sitting there and I'm like, I just want to open one, but I want to make sure that I have enough to get me through the 2 weeks, which I had more than enough to get me through. That's why sometimes I'd open up 2 in a day. because I really needed them. The day that I was going to go find out if I was pregnant or not, the last heart that I opened actually ended up being a heart from my sister. And it's just crazy that the very last heart, like I'm about to find out, and that heart was from my sister. I can't express to you how special that was for me to be able to actually see that heart in there. Literally, like I could not get out of bed unless I was getting up to go actively pick up the jar off my living room table, open up and read one of those hearts. And it just started my day off right. And that's what I had to do, is every morning you have to start your day off right. Otherwise, I probably wasn't going to get out of bed. They saved me, those hearts. I needed them. Anytime you start to feel a little bit of self-doubt or any anxiety, like challenging, anxious thoughts, I had those things to back me up and remind me of what I just went through to be able to heal and move forward.
How did your relationship with your body shift after this experience?
Well, it shifted quite well. Our transfer worked. All that positive female energy has blessed me at 22 weeks now with a baby girl. Katie always said that like there's something like in the air whenever people do a boudoir shoot, they end up getting pregnant afterwards. Well, it happens. We did take a test 2 days before we were supposed to do our blood work because I'm like, I just need to know. And I had like cloth draped over the test. I took a deep breath before removing the cloth and I'm like, it's okay, like it's gonna be okay no matter what happens. We were so shocked to be finding out through our genetic testing that we were having a baby girl was the most special thing, because I really think that all my girls from that retreat manifested this. Even though she was technically conceived 2 years ago as an embryo, they definitely made sure that that was gonna be a girl. So I can't express to you guys how whole I feel having my baby girl in there now, and I can start feeling her move. So that's like, she's actually moved a few times throughout this video and I'm just like, keep a straight face. She's kicking, sometimes it hurts. I love my body so much, and being able to heal, I don't think I would have been able to have that transfer work if it weren't for all those girls, because I really needed that. And my sister, as we're driving home from the retreat, was like, see, I told you so. I'm like, God, I don't want to tell you that you're right, but she was so right. And to be blessed, like I really don't think that this baby would have happened if it weren't for any of you. So thank you for everyone for the support and love that I really needed. She's been so healthy and doing great, and I can just be so thankful for that my body is finally doing something right and that it didn't fail me. This being the last embryo was such pressure on me that like this was it for me, my last chance. And to be blessed with something so special is life-changing for me. And now I actually feel like I'm having a girl, and I don't ever want her to ever experience or feel the way that I felt and ever felt down on myself. And I know that will be a challenge someday that she will probably face. But I feel like thanks to the retreat, I now have the tools to be able to love myself and to teach my daughter self-love, for herself, because that's all she deserves. Like she's so wanted. I have stretch marks. I've felt horrible morning sickness, but everything has been the most worth it. And I can't express to you, I don't care if I've already gained 10 pounds. I love it so much. So I just feel so good inside, and just complete that. Even after this, I don't care what she does to my body. You wreck it, girl, that's fine. I love myself. So I definitely will be doing a maternity shoot with Katie, loving my body more. So it's such a magical experience to be able to go on this journey, and for me to be able to be blessed with that. I never thought that this was going to happen and that this would come. So it's really, really important to me. So thank you, everyone. I love you. I love you guys. I love you.